President Trump filed a major lawsuit against big tech. I'm hoping to be a part of it at some point. Of course, they kicked him off Twitter and Facebook in January. They've been banning him and shadow banning him before that. Will it hold up in court? We're going to ask Alan Dershowitz. He represented President Trump in his first impeachment trial. He now hosts the awesome podcast, The Dersh Show. He's also the author of The Case Against News Censorship, Protecting Free Speech from Big Tech, Progressives, and Universities. Literally wrote the book on this. So, there's a lot of critics who say the lawsuit won't hold water, it won't make it through the courts. What's your take?
Well, nobody knows. There are cases going both ways. There are two leading precedents, one involving a town that was built by a private company called Marsh versus Alabama. And the Supreme Court said that even if it's private, if it behaves like a public entity, it's covered by the First Amendment. And the case going the other way is Miami Herald. A statute required them to print letters to the editor if they had attacked the candidate, and the Supreme Court said that would be unconstitutional because it's private. Everything has changed since those two cases. We now have a monopoly or a duopoly or a triopoly where you have three companies controlling the marketplace of ideas, and these three companies have the benefits of Section 230. So all bets are off. This is a very important case. We don't know how it will be decided, but whichever way it's decided, it will frame the law for the rest of the 21st century in the age of high tech. That's why it's so important.
Right, and you talk about this going back. I think perception, just as much as legality, might actually play into this. Is one of the few cases where the perception is, like if I told you 20 years ago that a 30-year-old something guy was going to ban a sitting president from communicating to 100 million people, you would say that's garbage, that can't happen. But now it almost appears, like you said, public versus private, and the perception of, are the social media platforms a widely, let's call it what it is. They're basically, I'd say 80% of America gets their news and information through them. So are they a public entity at this point?
Well, Justice Thomas thinks they are. He says they're common carriers and they should be subject to the rules of common carriers. We don't know how the other justices would view this. And so it's a case that you can't decide. Look, opponents of Trump who will oppose everything he does think there's nothing to this case. And they've attacked me, and they've attacked him, and they've attacked everybody, and they say there's nothing to it, and it's not an important case. They're wrong. It is an important case, but they're right that it's an unpredictable case.
Yeah, but imagine if there was a platform out there that it was run by conservatives, and they started banning liberals from joining it. You think they'd have a case?
Larry Tribe would be the first person to say this is a major First Amendment case. Remember, you can't listen much to people like Larry Tribe. Larry Tribe also flirted with the possibility of supporting Michael Avenatti for president. Imagine him ruling, but from the big. So if you listen to Tribe and want to think about whether to take his judgment seriously, just think about how he flirted with Michael Avenatti just because Michael Avenatti was against Trump. That's all you need to get Tribe on your side. If you're against Trump, he's on your side. If you're doing something that in any way favors Trump, he calls you crazy and bonkers and all of those name calling, which is inappropriate for a law professor.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at Michael Avenatti. This is the guy who said Don Jr. will be in jail by the end of 2018. And now, guess what? Michael Avenatti's in jail for extorting Nike. So a final note on the California recall. So Governor Newsom, he's challenging this recount in court. All right. Okay, fine. I thought we weren't allowed to question these type of things. But if you're a liberal, we'll step back. Is this a legal Hail Mary for Gavin Newsom?
Probably. These kinds of recounts generally are Hail Marys on either side, but occasionally they succeed. Look, Bush versus Gore made it all the way to the Supreme Court and was decided by a 5-4 case. So, I don't blame politicians for calling for recounts. And we're going to get more and more of them with ranked voting like you had in New York, which caused all kinds of problems. Fortunately for New York, the outcome became clear after time, but But recounts are part of the process. So I have nothing against people calling for recounts on either side, Democrats or Republicans.
Yeah, so I want to ask you this. This was not in our notes to you, so I apologize. But about the Second Amendment and the case that's being heard where New York is going to be forced to defend itself on the shall versus may issue. They've been denying permits left and right for years. We know that. The Supreme Court's going to hear this and say, do you have to issue someone a permit if they have the right qualifications and jump through the hoops and are willing to do it? Do you think that the Supreme Court is going to come out and say you have to give people the ability to get a permit?
I think so. I think that there's a majority in the Supreme Court. I don't necessarily support this view, but I think there's now a majority in the Supreme Court that says the Second Amendment governs. And if the Second Amendment governs, it denies the states the right to deny permits to people who are qualified under the Second Amendment to have them. So I think that does have a significant chance of prevailing. But again, you can't predict Supreme Court decisions. They have said there is a Second Amendment right that applies to the states, but they've also given the states some discretion and authority to limit the ability to have guns. So we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see where it plays with national reciprocity as well. Alan Dershowitz, thank you for being a good sport and answering my last question. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.